Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Yes Corner number 10. Although it should probably be, oh no, not again, corner, considering just what's happened earlier today with the football. But I'd really like to welcome Kevin Gibney from Indylive to the show. So give me 1 second, I'll find out where he is. There he is. Kevin, how are you doing?
I'm good. I thought this was show number 9, actually.
Oh, is it 9? Is it?
Yeah,
Oh, well,
I think it's 9. I've been telling people it's show number 9. Oh well.
Right. Yeah. Then it must be.
10.
No, I've just done 10. So my apologies. It is number 10. How are you doing?
I'm good. Yeah. Apart from earlier today, I don't think we should even mention it. It's still paining me a great deal.
Yeah. I am. Did you watch all of it?
Up until we went down. Well, I was actually going to pick up my twins to school, and I was watching it on my phone. When I switched it on, they just scored, and that was it. I just in pain, so I switched it off.
I took my two little boys out of school at 3 o'clock here to watch it. So it was not worth
painful.
it. Not worth
Sadly.
it. Anyway, hello to everyone who's watching. Please do, if you've got any questions for Kevin or any comments, just chuck them into the panel there. That'll be nice to hear from you. But let's get stuck in. So Kevin, Indylive, do you want to tell us a little bit about how it started and when it started, and maybe also who was involved at the start?
Yeah, it was back in the end of 2013. And I was involved with the local RIC campaign, RIC Southside in Glasgow. And we were coming up with all these great ideas at that time. It was a case of, got an idea, let's just go and do it. And talking to my colleague, Derek McLean, and he suggested live streaming because the mainstream media at that time was just it was 100% against independence. This was before even the Sunday Herald came out and decided to support, Scottish independence. So it was from that discussion with Derek McLean. What can we do to bypass the mainstream media? And it was live streaming. So that's what we did. Yeah, I'm not sure if I've just lost.
No, I'm still here.
I'm still
here. I'm editing in the background. Yeah,
right.
Yeah. Okay,
yeah.
So 2013, there was a couple of you involved. I suppose looking back over those 8 years now. I mean, can you believe it's 8 years that you've been doing this? Is that what you expected when you started?
I certainly didn't expect to be here. It was. After we did, we covered Indy Kent from Glasgow Emirates, and we were there I didn't get back to 7, 8 in the morning, and I didn't think for a second I'd be still at this. We did know that the EU referendum would probably be coming. There was different things coming up, so we thought we'll hang about to see how these go, and. Actually, after the EU result, I thought, there's going to be another referendum toot sweet, which didn't happen. So we just kept going. We thought, the mainstream media is not going to change, and we still need a voice there. So let's just see what we can do. Independence Live.
Yeah, I bet you it's flown by, isn't it? Those 8 years. So, do you want to tell us a little bit more? Because I think there's more to kind of Independence Live than probably most people know. Do you want to just give us a little rundown of the, I suppose, indie media as a whole, and the couple of different things that you and the team do?
Yeah, sure. From the get-go, right? It was, we wanted to cover independence. That's what motivated us to do it. But it was always about covering other things. That concern our society, right? And looking forward to an independent Scotland, like whether that be food banks or racism or anything. So we've always covered that, Also, one thing that probably most people don't know is the stuff that goes on out with live streaming. We show groups how to live stream. We help groups You know, we do a lot of that. That's always been part of what we've done again from the start. So another pillar of what we do is to show people, because if you produce your own content, you can bypass the mainstream media, even at a very local level for yes groups. You know, and that's one thing. Another thing we did in 2018-19 was to start up Indylive radio. So this fella come into the studio one day, Nori, and told us about Indylive radio, and we you know, again, we didn't have a clue what we were doing to set that up, but we managed to get that going, and that seems to be going well. I'm not as heavily involved in that at this moment in time, but the group that are doing it, they're doing a cracking job.
Yeah, so it's kind of Independence Live is the live streaming and some live events and some more shows, and then on the other side we've got the radio. So there's a lot going on, isn't there? You know, a lot of different things, and we're hoping to see you do more and get stuck into more. Do you want to tell me about, because I know Independence Live are 100% grassroots funded. So do you want to tell me a little bit about the last crowdfunder, and also maybe, you know, what you think that crowdfund is going to allow you to do?
Yeah, I mean, I've been actually going through all our costing from Independence Live into live radio. You know, there's a lot there. There's lots of different things that we need to put out for, and you know, there's licenses. There's like the radio stuff, modules. We've even got a service that tells us when the radio is down that we pay for. Independence Live wise, you know, we've got Zoom we're paying for monthly. There's live streaming services, there's marketing services we pay for. So there's a lot of outgoings at the moment. Never mind talking about getting equipment, which we haven't really been needing for a while because of COVID. We've kind of went online with that, but we did cover the general elections, which was a lot of fun. So that was back to our multi-camera setup at the Emirates. I really enjoyed that.
Yeah, I said there's a lot that people who are watching don't see Independence Live doing, and there's a lot of things underneath to keep this operation going. Now, how did the last fundraiser go? Do you want to tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, that went pretty well. We kind of took a different tack this time, how we promoted the crowdfunder, and instead of like the first 2 weeks being hell and hardly getting any donations, we managed to, it was kind of more of a kind of straight line for donations. So that helped the nerves a lot more. That's for sure. So yeah, it went well. I think it was about 4 or 5, maybe going over 6 weeks before we finally fully hit target, but it was steady right the way through. So yeah.
That's great, and having that banked now, it'll really, you know, allow you to do a little bit more as we get into summer and then into autumn, hopefully. Now, one of the questions we always ask on Yes Corner is how have you been engaging with the other organisations? Because as anyone who's watched this regularly will know, that's one of my kind of bugbears, is that we're such an amazing movement, but we just don't tend to speak to each other and help each other enough. So have you got any good examples of how you've done that for Independence Live with other organisations? Yeah,
I mean, just pre-COVID, Believe in Scotland ran an event in Glasgow, and we were there with a multi-camera setup. So we've got a good relationship with Believe in Scotland and, you know, Business for Scotland. Recently, we've helped Yes Kirkintilloch get their events online, you know, because everything's now online, and they've done some great stuff. You know, so Contour is another one. Contour, that's with Cat Boyd, and, you know, the people around them. We showed them how to, you know, use StreamYard, which is a great online platform service for Yes.
Which is what we use to broadcast into YouTube. So definitely something that people should look into. But I take it the kind of like if you want help, it's very, very, very unlikely that you'll say no.
It's like, I'll always say yes, right, to my detriment.
Exactly.
Stress levels, but I'll always say yes, you know, and, you know, you always look at what groups ask for, right, and you're always looking for the best thing we can do, right, is provide them with the fishing net, right. basically show them how to use the software. Sometimes they're not comfortable with that, so we'll actually do it for them, right? But it depends what the group wants to do. Maybe they're just looking for information on something in particular, and we can maybe help them that technology-wise. But we're always there to help, for sure.
Brilliant. I've got a question for you, I think, although is this me doing it? I don't know. Can you give a shout out to the Glad Cafe?
Oh, the Glad Cafe.
Yeah, so have I just given a shout out, or can you do that?
I'll 1 minute, Willie, right? So when we kicked off, me and Derek, we done our first live stream at the Glad Cafe. It's a brilliant place in Shawlands, one of the top places in Shawlands. And we set up our first event in there, and that was with Business for Scotland. That was Michelle Thompson, Ivan McKee was there. It was an incredible event, and we actually got that videoed, and that video, 100,000 views it got. And one of the great things about it was that I was going down to do this event in Govan someplace. Thomas Sheridan was speaking, and the taxi driver actually asked me, he started talking about this video. And somebody at the event put their hand up in there for the questions and said, have you seen this video? It was economics. It was an introduction to economics. And I was very keen, because, it's the economy, stupid, right? And I was very keen at the start to get the business side taken care of and try to get that message out there about how, Scotland can do well economically.
Brilliant. No, it's great when you've done something and you hear people talking about it. About 25 years ago, I ran an event in Scotland and it went really badly, and it made some of the newspapers. It was actually on page 3 of the Sun, right? But it made some of the newspapers, and I was in a chip shop in Perth. 2 days after the event, and I was eating my fish and chips, and the more of the chips I had, I could see my face appearing in the newspaper. So it's always nice when people are talking about something you've done. Normally for good rather than bad. So go on.
No, I was just going to say, I set up a couple of events. It was 1 week after the next, right? And that helped with the promotion. And unbeknown to us, right, the person that said it would promote it for us didn't bother, right? And nobody turned up. But we were live streaming it, so we had the panel, right? So we just continued with it, and it was a real interesting one, but nobody turned up. So there you go. I don't know if that beat you.
Well, we're in a really good situation now where, because events are recorded, and everything that we do, we'll maybe get a couple of 100 views over the first 24 hours. Maybe there's 100 people watching live. However, if you've got really good content, you'll get hundreds of views. And as you said, you got up to 100,000 views for that one you did 8 years ago.
Yeah.
So what we've really got to try and encourage and support is to help Yes groups and any Yes organisation create better content and help them with things like search engine optimization and tagging things so that more people see it. And again, as regular viewers will know, this is something I'm really keen on helping, is creating great content and helping it get out to more than people who are currently Yes supporters, but getting to those kind of soft no's. So with that as a lead in, Kevin, what's the plan for Independence Live as we kind of move into the summer months now?
Well, as you mentioned, right, we want more shows. We want to hear the voices of more people. We want to reach out to soft no's, right? So one group in particular I'm very keen to get involved with is Radical Independence Campaign. They're making a bit of a comeback. They did a conference there. We could have helped out a wee bit. But yeah, I would, they'd be a great group to get involved with. Lots of. So
I think we've had that conversation, and we're kind of looking at 5 new shows, 5 new monthly shows by the end of, certainly in August. We've got one brand new show which is already scheduled, which is a Scottish whisky show, and I'd love to hear what people think in the chat now. But can you believe there's no show on the BBC about whisky? Not a monthly show, not a weekly show, but our largest export, world-renowned, hugely important for the country. And there's nothing there about it. And I think that's so let me know what you think about that. But that's a good example, Kevin, isn't it, of the type of thing that we want to do, is just try and just fill this gap politically but culturally. And can you tell us a little bit about the new show TUS that you've been heavily involved with as well?
TUS, that's Adam, he's fronting that particular programme. That's to do with Indigenous voices from around the world. Adam is a Gaelic speaker, or Gaelic. I might get that wrong. Always dodgy. Gaelic, we'll go for Gaelic, right? Gaelic speaker, and he's a Gael, and I've worked with Adam previously doing live streams from stuff he was setting up, and that's a great show. Talking to people from around the world. The one he just did there was it Mohawk?
Yeah, it was incredible, wasn't it? The stories that she had.
Stories. It was fascinating to hear them. It's really inspiring, and so that show itself, I'm really looking forward to it. I really like Adam, and he's got so many contacts worldwide, and he's got so many interesting stuff to talk about that I'm really looking for the cultural side, getting more cultural stuff going.
So we've got now this is a kind of like an open call, and we're looking for these 5 new shows in July and into August. We're going to put up a little form which will give people a kind of little bit of guidance if they want to propose that a show for us to help them support. And obviously we'll offer loads of support, as well as the access to the nearly 6,500 subscribers now, plus our database. But if you are interested in putting a show, it could be political, but it also could be just cultural or completely different, something that's not out there at the moment. Then we'll have a link, and we're going to send that out to everyone, so that they're able to come and look at that. And hopefully we'll get 5 new fantastic shows. And that's what I said was really important about getting more information out that's got a yes slant on it, and really trying to counter what's going on with the rest of the mainstream media. So that's
Absolutely.
Some new shows, Kevin. And what about our events? Because I know you're planning to do a few more into the year as well.
Yeah, well, we've got the conferences as well. Willie, I don't think I've mentioned that. That's we've got one coming up, and we're planning to do maybe conferences every 6 weeks. So the one that's coming up this weekend is in defence of Scotland. And that's we're doing this along with Veterans for Independence 2.0, Cliff and Russ, to the veterans. So I'm really looking forward to that. But that's kind of thing we'll be looking at. What kind of conferences we can do? What kind of things should we be talking about in the Yes movement? And try to do more of them, maybe every 6 weeks if we can. And the one in Saturday, you can still register for it. We're putting it out on Twitter, the link out on Twitter, etc., and we'll drop it into this feed at some point.
I'll actually play the wee video before we head out. And again, we're really keen to hear from people what events and what topics they want us to cover.
Yeah.
And this In Defence of Scotland event came about because the Veterans for Independence were, let's do something. And we were like, yeah, we'd love to support that. We had a chat with them, came up with an event, supported it, put all the marketing in, hosting it, running it. So any ideas, it doesn't have to be you running it in your Yes group. Come to us for some support. It might be one of our own events that we can do together, or just there to give you support. And what about training, Kevin? Because you mentioned that at the start as well. Is that something you're looking to kind of bulk up a little bit?
Yeah, especially the online stuff, right? We're, for example, we're using StreamYard at the moment to do this, right? So Contour, we're using StreamYard. If people are on, there will be, this is going to YouTube only at the moment. They'll see, if they look for Contour, that was done in StreamYard. It's a fantastic package to get people streaming online. But also people can stream using Zoom, right? We can give help and show people how to do it via Zoom if they wish, So, in pre-COVID days, it would maybe be showing them about phones and how to live stream and do stuff with that, right? But restreaming that. But now it's online at the moment, and I don't see this going away, Willie. Even when we go back to non-COVID days, this technology is just so good. You don't need to go sit in a hole.
Absolutely. I had a conversation with someone just a couple of weeks ago, and they said, there's no way I'm going to be travelling down to Edinburgh now for a meeting. Oh, I'm from Inverness. I can just watch it on Inverness and watch it from Inverness. And I think we've got to do that. We've got a big country, and maybe for your local events, it's getting everyone together locally, but making sure you're streaming that so people who are not there are able to see that great content. And as well as that kind of technical support on producing the event, where I know that you're looking to help people with their marketing and their kind of, scheduling and how you actually plan that event and the execution and what to do with the content afterwards. And as I said at the start, just a lot of advice to make sure that all of these wonderful bits of content we have just get to a much wider audience.
I mean, all it takes is a hashtag or a wording of a title, and that can be picked up on YouTube better, right? And all it takes is one soft note to pick up a video, right, to get engaged with something. So that really matters. And to be fair, I'm actually just finding the time now to do this. I'm really focused in and trying to learn more about the marketing, promotion, SEO stuff. So we want to reach out and help people do that as well.
It'd be great to get a couple of questions. As Zag Flash said there, it's unusual to get Kevin in front of the camera. It's more unusual to actually have him answering questions and talking about all the wonderful work that he does. So please, any questions. But Kevin, I wanted to talk about
not football related.
I wanted to talk about the plan to have more of a core team involved in Independence Live, and I know that you've got some plans to kind of build up a team, and I suppose not just any team, but people with really good digital experience and knowledge, and to try and create much more of a resource for the movement. Can you tell us a little bit about that? I don't know if you want to drop any names of the people, but tell us a little bit more about how you're looking to kind of resource up for the movement.
Yeah, I mean, it's the most difficult thing is getting volunteers involved. That's for sure. And because people have got lives to get on with, right? But it's what we want to do is to get, as you said, Willie, is to get more people that have a bit of time that can maybe, if you've got a real good bit of time, 8 hours a week. Right, and they are willing to learn some digital skills, online skills, and we'll train you up. And you've got some great skills you can show us how to do stuff. So if you want to get involved with us, please do. We're getting hardcore here, right? As Willie said, we're trying to get another 5 shows going by the end of August, at least, at 5 more shows. You can, if you're involved with production, right, what's involved. Okay, now we'll never be the BBC. They've got I think the Scottish BBC 300 odd million, right? But we can harness our skills in a very efficient way, in a better way, and try and get messages out there to people. And if you can help me anyway, and you might have a skill set I've not even thought about, right? Please get in contact with us.
Yeah, absolutely. And it is the more people we can get in who are able to dedicate that, as you said, good amount of time, 8 hours spread across a week, however you want to do it. I think we could start to see Independence Live just do so much more of the really good things it's been doing, because as everyone probably knows, when we talk about Independence Live, we're really talking about Kevin Gibney over the last couple of years. So things are changing and we're getting a lot more support. So hopefully we can start doing a little bit more.
Let me just tell you about Indylive Radio. I mean, that is one amazing team, Willie. And what people when I say Indylive Radio, they're just thinking about maybe an online radio station. It ain't, right? See, when we do our live streams, Willie, right? The folks from Indylive Radio, right, they turn them into podcasts, right, and they put them out in the radio, right, but they also have their own podcast service and YouTube channel, right. It's like you're taking digitized data and reusing it in different platforms to reach a wider audience. Their podcast service they've got is fantastic. So we're reusing the live stream that we might do like this. This could go out in a radio show, and as well as in the podcast.
It's really important. And I know they work really closely with the Yes groups as well. I think they've got like a weekly Yes group show.
That's
so
right.
It's really good examples about how we're looking together and how we're looking to work together. And, we're especially keen, I know, to hear from Yes groups. Kevin, anything else you want to cover quickly before I finish with the event on Saturday?
Yeah, I'd just like to say I'm fully confident Scotland will win the next 2 games. So don't worry about it.
Are we playing something other than football over the next couple of weeks, are we?
No, it's football.
All right, okay.
Right,
okay.
People are feeling as bad as I am, even though I've got a smile on my face. You bring a smile on my face, Willie. I'm still recovering. But the next two games for Scotland, we will win. We will beat England. Right, don't worry about it. But
Brilliant.
Anything else in defence of Scotland? Conference this week, hugely important. Please register and come along. You can go and find out our schedule, right? So Willie will get that link out to them, right? Check out the schedule. It's brilliant, okay? Please get involved. You'll be able to talk to others. There's so much happening during the day, during that conference. And it will also show you some of the other stuff you can do, because we'll be taking that same kind of idea and applying it to other stuff, Willie. One of the things we're very much interested in, is the economic side of things. So I'm sure we'll have, another conference along those lines, Willie, and and any ideas that people have got, we'll look at creating conferences on them.
Brilliant. And I know we're going to go out to the 277 people who voted for the crowdfunder and ask them first what they would really like to see us doing to make the most of, the indie pounds that they gave towards Independence Live. Kevin, thanks very much. We'll speak a little bit later. Thanks to everyone who's joined us tonight. I'm going to play the little video, and until next week, which is Yes Corner 10, because this was 9. I'll see you. And it's in 2 weeks. It's in 2 weeks as well. So see you in a couple of weeks. Thanks to everyone for watching.
Peace and love.